Hey everybody, welcome back to Inside Video Games and Gaming with July and formerly Andy Kneis. I have to take back my show because he did a horrible job hosting it on his own, and I actually let him know that I was going to Australia beforehand, but I guess he must have forgot or something because he really was making me do a lot of things with the show, and I just got overwhelmed with the show and my life. And Andy's here. He can also, tell me how he feels about that, about not being part of the show anymore.
Well, first of all, if you did tell me about Australia, I apologize for forgetting about it. I don't remember that, but I can't confirm what happened. Don't feel great about not being on the show anymore. It seemed like it could have been fun. But if you think that's best, it is your show, so I will defer to you. If you think that's best, that's fine.
Yeah. And I do got to say, I know a lot of people online were speculating, well, what happened? Who's Andy? Why is he hosting my show? And I got to say, I did prepare a statement, and it goes, it's written, so I have to read it. So it's going to go like this. Oh boy. Well, I didn't want to comment on any of the weird speculation that I've seen about leaving the podcast because it's all super baseless and founded entirely on gut feelings about how people choose to interpret our actions. But now I'm being painted in a bad light for not leaving my podcast in the exact way people believe I should have, so I guess I got to say something to defend myself. I first told Andy I wanted to leave the podcast almost last week. I made the mistake of saying so in a text, and he said we should discuss it in person, so we did. And he convinced me to keep it going until I left my job at Corden. Thinking it might make it less of a load on myself, but even as we kept going, I found that it was a massive, massive burden on me to contact and schedule guests, prepare clips, make game ups, update the website and the Patreon, deal with tour live show scheduling and booking and setup, and manage and edit images and copy for Soul Show at least once a week, but often twice, because we'd have to back up episodes in preparation for one of us to be out of town. This is all speculation because, obviously Andy's only been on the show for 2 weeks, but, we had a lot on the books. Also bonus episodes, editing behind the scenes, how to make it videos, getting together at least 3 hours to write and work on specific new episodes that we were thinking about doing that have like storylines and stuff. Having a film, the gameplay and etc. Even when we got together to record an episode, most of the work ended up on me, which I don't say as a slight to Andy. I just say that it's a lot of stuff, and it's easier for me to just do the podcast alone. All coupled with me having a day job as a janitor at Corden. It's a lot, and I also host a monthly drama show, live drama show. And I'm writing and developing a lot of outside projects like the remake of Yo Mama, the MTV Valderrama project. And that's where I want my career to be headed, and I just want to work on a lot of stuff, and it was just a lot. And, I started this podcast insisting that it never become a job for me, as I don't want to be a, quote, a podcaster, end quote. I just wanted to do it for fun. But as we kept going in these 2 weeks, it just became obvious that it was a job, and that was meant to be our big thing, which I didn't care for. So I left. I told Andy that I wanted to leave the day we recorded the Goose Game because, we recorded a few episodes after that. I don't know if those will ever see the light of day. And you know what? It took for a month for me to leave town. But I gotta say, Andy knew that I was leaving, and for anybody thinking that he was blindsided by this move is nonsense. And Andy obviously knew that I was in Australia because I got cast in the reboot of Kangaroo Jack, and that's passion, that's work passion that I want to be doing, and I've been backlogging a ton of episodes, but you know what? Maybe you won't hear any of those. Long story short, I left the podcast because it was a fuck ton of work and it wasn't fulfilling. It didn't make me happy. It became a detour from the work I wanted to be doing. I don't want to be a podcaster. But listen to the last episode with Andy. I think I need to be a podcaster because that was just awful and it was really bad. And sometimes in life, you got to do stuff that you don't like doing, but you got to do it because you're really good at it and you were kind of born for it. And you kind of were chosen for it. And so, yeah, I would have said all this before, but, it's hard to fit on an album cover, whatever that means.
Wow. I mean, yeah, thank you for preparing that statement because I did have a lot of questions and that cleared a lot of stuff up. I didn't even realize that you were working as a janitor at James Corden or that you had all that stuff going on with the Kangaroo Jack reboot. It's exciting for you. So, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, whatever you think is best, this is your show. And, I didn't realize you were doing so much work. So I appreciate I appreciate the opportunity. I guess that's what I'll say.
Well, I can't believe you're lying to my face. I just said in my statement that you knew all of this. And
Yeah, you did say that. I guess it could be another thing that I forgot. Like maybe you mentioned it along, and I was thinking about games while you were saying it or something. I'm not sure.
see, this is the spark that I saw back when I asked you to be my co-host. You're just so focused on the games, and I love that because sometimes I get distracted with all the stuff outside the podcast and not gaming related stuff, and I think I needed somebody to be there on the show that would focus us on the game parts of the show.
Yeah, I guess I got too focused. I think that maybe that was the root of the problem.
Right, and I think, hey, maybe once the wounds heal, maybe we can still be friends. Maybe, hey, maybe you'll come back on the show. But I think for now, I think it's best if we part ways.
Yeah, it's too bad. Yeah, I really do hope that we can be friends someday, maybe after a couple years, once we can both, get some separation. I think that'd be really nice. So, yeah.
I agree. I think it's going to take a couple years, and I don't really want to see your face anytime soon.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I'm still a huge fan. I'm still going to keep listening every week. So,
I'd rather you not listen to the show because just to know that you're listening to the show and how much fun you could be having, it'll be really tough for me.
Okay, then I guess I'll have a backlog, once we decide that it's appropriate for us to, talk.
I would love that. I would love that. Yeah, just save them up.
Great, yeah, we'll do. Okay, yeah, that sounds great.
Cool, and we didn't have time in this episode to get to the game that we're going to talk about, but check out Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm sure it's a good game. All right, everybody keep gaming.